All right, what I've been waiting for all week. Irby, I got to keep it together for this. Now joining me on the set is one of the all-time greatest swimming coaches, someone who's had an influence on so many other swimmers here this week and countless Olympians, like myself and many, many more. For me personally, Irby, one of my favorite stories is when we were swimming in Michigan. It would be like negative 2 degrees, snow. We'd be walking into practice, 6 a.m. You're in a t-shirt, board shorts, and flip-flops. You come walking in on the pool deck, you're like, oh, what a beautiful day, every morning. And I think that summarizes your attitude. Every day is a beautiful day.
Well, prior to that, Caitlin, I would be out running at 5 o'clock in the morning in minus 25 with the wind chill. They're coming in there to the warm pool. It was exciting. So I was wired. I was hot.
Yeah, you were getting us like when we were like sleeping our eye and you're like already ran 5 miles.
Had my cappuccino and I'm ready to go.
John claims that he is putting away his stopwatch and is going to move on past the pool deck. But we wanted to hear what people had to say about you, John. Take a look.
I wasn't...
John, Irby.
You know I'd use another name for you, but we're on TV.
John Urbancheck. Apparently they're saying this is a good farewell speech to say goodbye to you. Yeah, right.
When I was being recruited by you to come to Ann Arbor, the rumor on the street was that you were going to retire back then. That was 17 years ago. And you said, who said that?
I've known John for 50 years. He was my very first swim coach. Remember the first time you walked on deck, I was a little bit scared.
And everyone was just referring to you as the geezer, but in like such an affectionate way. Like, hey, get over here, you geezer.
In warm-up or something before a race, it just doesn't feel good. And you'll look at me with a super serious look on your face and be like, you don't need to feel good to swim fast. Feeling only matters in lovemaking.
John Urbancheck, I love you. You're a great guy. You're like the Yoda of swimming.
The sound of your voice on the pool deck is something that I'm never going to forget. I will always have those memories, and I'm going to miss seeing you around all the time.
I'll never forget the day in the middle of practice when I was in the middle of one of your really hard color sets. I was dying and going back and forth, barely had time to stop on the wall, and I look over, halfway through it, and your shoe is off and it's in the water and you're kind of like inching it along the surface of the water. And I, finally came in and had time to ask you what was happening. And then you go, hey, look, my shoe is swimming faster than you.
Hey, John, congratulations. Just wanted to thank you for everything you did for USA Swimming, bud.
Thanks for everything. You're awesome.
Thank you so much, John, for always killing me in practice, but making me smile.
Thanks for everything you've done for swimming because you've changed the way we think about training. You've helped so many great athletes reach the top level, and you've inspired an entire generation of coaches.
I think we can all say that we've learned more from spending 10 minutes with you than a lot of us have ever learned in a textbook or seen anywhere on a drawing.
I've never seen anyone that cares more about the athletes, not only the athletes that you directly coached, but all the other athletes, and never really cared about yourself.
I can only hope to have the impact on not just the sport, but the people in it, the way that you do, the warmth that you give to people.
Of course, I learned a ton in the water, but I learned so much about life from you.
Thank you for everything that you've ever done for me since I was 12 years old, coming to swim camp, until I was in high school swimming with your college boys.
For every Michigan man whose living room that you sat in, gave your word, and showed us how to keep it, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
You're an absolute national treasure. I love you. I love my time with you. You may or may not know this, but you've been like a second father to me.
Your footprint on my heart, I could just never explain to you. Having you at my wedding, priceless.
John, I can tell you is the same person today that he was 50 years ago when I was young, and the most incredible coach that I've ever had the honor to spend time with.
Thank you, John, for everything that you've done for the athletes of the sport of swimming. You're truly an inspiration to all. Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Hey, move it, buddy.
We'll miss hearing "keep it moving" on the pool deck. Thanks.
One is, thank you, my man. We love you, and I'll see you on the pool deck in the fall.
John Urbancheck, everybody. John Urbancheck. And I have tears in my eyes. I think this is my biggest challenge as my new anchor is trying not to cry doing this interview. All right, Irby, let me see if I can
That's
pull it
that's
together.
okay.
Whew. All right, let's just keep the cameras on Irby. He's cuter anyways. Irby.
Nobody's cuter than you. Come on.
50 years of coaching experience. I can't even form the words to that. 22 years as the head coach at Michigan. What's your favorite part of coaching?
Oh, God, it's hard to explain in one word. But I'm going to go back to your first question about retirement and dropping my stop. My goal was to come in with my stopwatch tomorrow morning, which is my last workout, formal workout. And I was going to say, John, out, and throw the stopwatch to the ground, shatter the stopwatch. I'm not going to be like Kobe, but I learned a lot from Kobe. How to part without cries. Just,
oh my goodness!
I'm out of here.
We all we laugh at that though, saying, yeah. He says he's out of here. He'll be back on the deck. Does it sink into you what a difference you've made in so many of our lives? Do you know that?
Yeah, you know what difference every one of you made on me. That's hardest for me to walk away because I miss it, you know. Yeah. I never had a son, so any given year I would have, or any given day I might have 20, 25 boys.
You didn't have a son, you had 1,000 sons. How many kids did you coach?
Son, sometimes that's some SOBs, but you know, boys are always going to be boys, make up for all the other ones. That's all. They all grow up. 10 years later, you look back,
oh my God.
What a great guy.
It's day 8, Caitlin's crying, John's dropping the SOBs. It's just a great day here on deck.
No, I said it lovingly. I love those guys. Just do. Like, I mean, Cleet Keller. Yes. I never had more hugs in my entire life from anybody, including my wife probably, that I got from Cleet Keller. Good. I mean, that's just, it's so much fun to watch you guys grow up. Carol Lynn, she came to our camps at 11 years old.
Yes.
The next thing you know, she moved into our city, Ann Arbor, Michigan, and made it to the Olympic team. And I just watched you guys growing up. I'm watching your mom you guys have to hear this, okay? Caitlin introduced her mom to 400 little age group swimmers and parents. She said, this is the greatest mom. She's clueless about swimming. She only cared with my caps and goggles, my suit matches. Caitlin, that's you. Yeah. You never showed up on deck or a swim meet without everything matching. That goes to your mom.
It does. She's watching right now. She's one of your biggest fans.
Hi, Mom. Love you.
All right, so I stopped crying. I'm going to change the topic a little bit because I want to hear.
Let's move on.
I want to hear about your personal swimming background because you swam at the University of Michigan, 59 to 61.
Yeah, well, I can't really that much. I can't say that much about my performance in Michigan. I did get a second place in the 1650 freestyle.
Mile swimmer.
Mile swimmer. So I still have that trademark. John is a distance coach, but many of people out there, I'm sure you do, but many of them don't know that I have as many 50 and 100 championship medals in Michigan as I have a 500 free forehand IM and a 1650, but I'm still called the distance coach. I'm a middle distance coach. Sometimes I go down, sometimes I go up, but I'm kind of in the middle.
You do it all.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing it all, you have been on the last 7 Olympic teams on the coaching staff. The last 7 Olympics, Irby. Can you even pick out which was your favorite? Is that even a possible question?
I'm prepared for this one because I get this question all the time.
Okay.
My best one, the last one.
Okay.
You know, they say in sports, you're as good as your last ball game, right? Well, our last ball game was unbelievable in London. That was awesome. And that video with the kids group I made up, the Call Me Maybe.
Yes, the Call Me Maybe video.
That was the outgrowth of the chemistry we had on that team. I felt like every time we stepped on the plane, everybody put their ego up on the hook before you stepped on the plane. All the coaches, all the athletes, and that video was really the reflection how the entire team felt. I never felt better, so I figured that was a good time to go out on the top. That's almost like Seinfeld. I call it the Seinfeld syndrome. Are you watching Seinfeld? I do. Now, if Seinfeld would have gone down in the ratings, nobody would bottle to watch Seinfeld.
Seinfeld,
So-
Kobe Bryant. You have like
Yeah.
some pop culture. It's unbelievable. I have to brag about you though, Irby. You have 44 swimmers that have represented their native country, and those swimmers won 20 medals and 11 of them gold.
I'm
Wow.
glad you told me that because I don't know. I don't keep track of that. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
What is your coach-
What's really, I'm sorry, but what really matters is not the records you take, the trophies you have, the medals you have. I'm looking for the friendship you have. I remember the friendship. The medals will tarnish.
Of course.
Your records, Michael, is going to be broken. I guarantee you that. I don't care when, but it's going to be broken. But the connection we have, the friendship we take with us, that is what I would like to remember the rest of my life.
Well, I was going to ask you, what is your coaching philosophy? But I feel like you just kind of said it all right there. But let's talk about the physical
you have to.
side.
Okay, so going back to the question. Okay, you have to have a passion for the sport.
Yes.
You have to have patience.
Yes.
I've known Michael for the last 20 years, and I can see what Bob had to go through for 20 years. And we have to have patience, and you have to have a plan. You have to know what the heck you're doing.
Right.
Yeah. So that's all you have to do in swimming.
You have to be organized.
And you have to be funny. And I'll tell you one more story, and
Please
then I'm going to get off the air. So preparing for this the trials, you're tapering. Okay, we have 8-lane pool, 7 lanes, 8-lane pools going on, 7 different workouts because you have to meet your needs. Everybody needs something different. They need a little personal touch, a little pat on the back, and a kick in the fanny. And so we have a 7-ring circus. But then I may get the 8-ring circus. You see the clown coming in. I'm the clown coming in, and I keep the show moving.
Keep it moving.
Yeah, keep it moving. That's my motto. Keep it moving.
Irby, obviously my tears say it enough.
And
We
I love
No,
you.
Stop
I
it.
love
I'm
you
not
too.
going to finish this. You heard from so many of your swimmers. What would you like to tell your swimmers?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved every one of you. You know, that's what I lived for. So it's what kept me going. I'm gonna miss that the most. Okay, I miss the association, but I have a family. I have my horse I've neglected the last 30 years. I'm gonna spend some time with my horse. That was my hobby.
You said your plan is no plan.
Yeah, the only plan I have right now is to have a ticket tomorrow morning to fly back to LA. I'll land at 8 o'clock. I'm hoping to see all the fireworks coming into LAX over the coast. So that's going to be my day tomorrow. After that, I have no clue what I'm going to do.
And I think you deserve a little vacay.
Well,
little
thank
vacay,
you.
Irby.
Yeah, thank you. Love
Irby,
you. Yeah.
I can't believe I just had to do that. That was the hardest thing I think I've ever had to do.
You guys been awesome. This is
Thank you.
This is the first time I watched a podcast here. Yeah, but it was awesome.
Thank you, Irby.
Love you. Yeah.
Everybody, the legend, John Urbancheck.
Later, move it.
Whew. All right, Caitlin, pull this together.